Well, hey everybody. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune for the 18th day, endings 9 energy of February 2021. So I did this once, and I was ending, and my screen froze. Of course. Well, we're still in Mercury retrograde, so I suppose that's the demons are coming out, and they're going, "Oh, let's play with her today." So Mercury retrograde is about any type of communication, doesn't matter what it is, and you have to take another look at it. I had already rebooted, so I don't really know. Anyway, I'm going to use what I have because it really does tie into what we did on Monday. Let me go over really quickly Monday's reading. It was, I believe, I didn't write down the runes like an idiot, but I'm pretty sure it was Birkenau and Caput Draconis. And so we're talking about healing and bringing something to fruition with Birkenau, and then Caput Draconis is about the future or a new path, whatever, in that direction, right? Something unfolding in the future. So it kind of gives the idea of a new awareness, new understanding, new path, whatever, something new is being birthed into our awareness. We had the Four of Pentacles, the Chariot, the Nine of Pentacles, and then I drew an additional Two of Wands card. Just to sort of give a little last bit of information. I didn't have to do a fourth card in this reading. But as far as what we talked about last Monday, it's really about hanging on too tightly to a material focus and the need to release that into a new direction of healing and awareness that we're, unified in this experience instead of, going it alone and, always working from that standpoint of lack or grievance or what have you. So for today, the rune is Nathis, the Norn rune for it's the will. Basically, it's the Norn rune of the future. So it's manifestation. It's the friction within to align and to focus and to manifest something, to bring about something. And in this case, it's going to be gain with acquisitio. So the cards I drew, and I've got them in the order that I want them because there's a progression here. I drew the Five of Cups. And I didn't notice it until I put the cards over here. I took them from over here and I put them here and I'm looking at them. And then I saw the numerical progression. It's a magnification. So again, grief, loss, with the Five of Cups. Here we have the 10. So 5 magnified by 10. And letting go of perceptions that clearly no longer serve us. We've gone as far as we can go with all of that, and now the light's returning. The emotions are smoothing out with the smooth surface of the water there. There's challenges in the background with those mountains, but at the same time, the light is returning. We don't see the sun, but the yellow color is implying it. So we've managed then to let go of all of this, right? Understanding that the emotions really are born out of perspective, aren't they? It's how you see things. That's the air element. That's swords. How you see things then result in the emotional response to it, right? And here, he's still, just like with the Four of Cups, that guy's in a pity party. This guy kind of is in grief and loss. And he really can't, he's still self-absorbed, right? But then we come to Judgment, which is card 20. You see the magnification now. You see the progression. 5, 10, 20. And we have Judgment. Other decks now, non-traditional decks will call this Eon or Rebirth. So realistically, that's how we need to see the Judgment card. We got Gabriel coming down, blowing his horn, everybody coming up out of their caskets, raising their arms in supplication to Spirit. It's like, oh, thank God we're back. And the pennant there with the cross on it, it's not a religious thing. It's about balancing energy, about balancing perspective and perception. It's about the vertical line would be the invocation from Spirit, and the horizontal line would be the balance, polarity, and form. Okay, so that's how I see that, especially in terms of rebirth or eon or in this case, Judgment. But what we also have with the 5, we have change. Let's just talk keywords for a moment. With the 5, we have change. With the 10, that reduces to 1. That's new beginnings in the direction of unity and wholeness. And with the 20 here, that's a 2. Okay? And so that's balanced polarity. That's reciprocity. It's being in balance with one another. There's a level of healing to that as well, which aligns with Birkenau from Monday. But you see where this is going, basically? I don't think we need a 4th card. I think that with acquisitio and gain, I think what we're gaining from this, we're gaining an awareness that is not so self-absorbed. Whether it was on Monday, with the 4 of Pentacles, where, you've got the king with his back to the kingdom and he's holding fast his money. He's got one displayed on his crown. He's stepping on the coins and he's holding one fast to his chest. Well, he's only focused on his own material success, his own material wealth, but in terms of the earth element, in terms of life and form, the other thing it's not just material possessions that create the tradition we leave and the legacy we leave for others. It's the values and principles we hold as well. And so if we're always, if we see ourselves as separate from others, that creates one paradigm and one level of perception. If we see ourselves in unity and harmony with others, that creates quite a different one, as I'm sure you can imagine. And so in order to have the gain that we need to exercise the nathis within, the friction within, to let go of perceptions that no longer serve, to let go of the grief that no longer serves, because I do believe that they're connected together. But at least in the 10, we're going to do something about the 5 and then the 4 from Monday. The 9 of Pentacles helps us to release that perception as well. Although there is still a little bit of a self-focus in that one. But we were looking at it as the difference between the 4 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles with the Chariot in between, where we're understanding when to take control and when to let go. And so I was looking at both of them that way. And then once we do that, we can move on confidently into the future with the 2 of Wands. Because that was a guy standing there with one sword and holding on to, or not a sword, but a staff in one hand. And then the other one was affixed to the wall. It's like up at the top of the castle. He's looking out over the expanse, over the ocean. He's holding a globe in one hand. And he's basically looking out there saying, okay, I'm waiting for my ship to come in. I'm making a decision about where I want to go with my future. Actually the 3 is really more about waiting for your ship to come in. But the idea is that you're planning your future. You're planning and the idea of the globe shows the fundamental unity that you need to go in. But how do you do that? You do that by letting go of your grief. Letting go of perceptions that no longer serve. And rebalancing how you see yourself and others. Letting the birth of a new paradigm form, again brought on by the nathis, or the friction within, to manifest something new that results in a mutual gain of all. So this is cool. This is really just a completion of an idea this week. It wasn't that we had one on Monday and now we're shifting into whatever that, created. Now this is what the manifestation looks like. No, this is the process by which we do all of that. There's more than just healing, from the virus that's going on. We have to heal our perceptions in terms of where we place our trust as well. Texans are discovering that right now. The idea of, we don't want federal involvement. Well, that was just the owners of those companies. They convinced the rest of you that you didn't want that either, but in fact you do. Because had you had it, you'd be like El Paso, because El Paso is still connected to the national grid. And El Paso is doing pretty well, I guess, from what I've seen yesterday. They're not experiencing the same level of disaster that the rest of the state is experiencing because they weren't ready for this storm. They had indicators, I read back in 2011, also in 1989 that they needed to do something. They were told they needed to winterize. But again, being told what to do, oh, we don't want to do that, right? Well, sometimes they're smarter people than you, and they don't just see things through the prism of money and greed and wealth. If you're providing power for the state, well, you have a little greater, responsibility there, don't you think, than to just, put money in your own pocket to the expense of everything else, right? And that's what they're seeing. That's what that's all about. So, it's like, why hasn't the governor who just seems to be nutty as all get out, why hasn't he, because remember, the lieutenant governor earlier this year saying grandma needs to die for the Dow so we can all get back to work, open all the businesses and let the virus just spread. And grandma should just be willing to die for the Dow, basically. That was the thing that the lieutenant governor of Texas said. Well, now you got this one. It's like, oh, this is, why we don't want the Green New Deal. Oh my God. First of all, there is no Green New Deal yet. This is windmills. Well, no. It was the nuclear, it was the coal, it was whatever, the other. They froze. Nuclear power plants had to be taken offline, I guess, because the water they need to cool it is frozen. All of this is foreseeable. We know this here in Oregon. We have snow, we have winter, It's a different environment than Texas, I realize. But it doesn't mean that it can't happen, and it has happened. So in the past, they've had similar things. So learn from it, but oh no. So these people in particular, the powers that be in Texas, really got to, let go of the perceptions that are not serving anybody at all, right? Not at all. So, if you all look at the example of the January 6th Capitol riot, there you've got perceptions, really, right, at work. Perceptions that are based on lies told to them by people in power that want to remain in power. So they dupe all these people into believing that there is a cause to fight, right? And a set of beliefs they need to now adhere to. And magically they do, right? They do. And now you've got people that come in force to the Capitol on the 6th of January. Did they even know why? See, I don't even think they really understand why. They don't understand that they were lied to. They don't understand that the election was not stolen. I mean, come on. They listen to a lunatic and believe everything he says. So it's no wonder, right, that things happened the way that they did. Except that you have to ask yourself, how did people allow themselves, people who value discernment, that's all you hear is discernment this, discernment, they value all this discernment, but yet they can't figure this out, that they're being conned? They can't check anything out because they've already been told that all the places you do that with are fake. Can you see a pattern yet? Of somebody or a group of somebodies that wanted to remain in power, that wanted to take this country in their direction instead of our direction? Do you ever wonder why the class system is what it is, that you've got the rich and everyone else now? There's not even a middle class now. You ever wonder how that happened? Well, it's because you have a certain group of people that decided we're going to function this way, and they sold everybody a bill of goods. Many of us are like, yeah, right, but there was enough there and they had enough power and control that they could make happen what they wanted to happen. But if you look at Texas alone, that's not working out very well, is it? So again, the perceptions that have brought us to this point, to this very day, that have divided us at the expense of our own safety, have all been in service to, at least the last president. And whoever is behind him, likely using him, because he doesn't seem like he can really generate this stuff. He's like the useful idiot of the people, behind him. Because he's so narcissistic, he's just gonna, Just flatter him a little bit. That's what the KGB found out, apparently, according to the book American Compromat. So you can see where he was the useful tool for them to get more of what they wanted. That's why we saw all these judges that got put in that aren't even qualified to be judges at the lower court level. Yeah, and it's why we have the balance on the Supreme Court we have. Think about it. You've got to step back and take a look at the bigger picture here and look at it from the standpoint of control by a chosen few. Lots of people see it, including the ones that are so caught up in it. They understand the concept, but they just don't understand it. Now they've become part of it. That they were drawn into something that, that focused on their grievance, that focused on their concerns, that focused on the isms of life instead of the collective nature of it and the harmony. It was more the racism and the sexism and all of that, the ageism. And so now we have to let go of the grievance, let go of the perception, so we can then bring spirit into the whole conversation, so we understand who we are in relationship to one another, that we're simply the other. Everyone around me is the other side of self. Everyone around you is the other side of self. It's a unified experience here, because we're all united in form, because we're all part of the Creator. We express our separate or the appearance of our separateness here, but it was never supposed to go that far. I don't think. We're still supposed to understand our connection to one another and value the uniqueness about everybody, because that's how we progress in life, is from those unique perspectives. We can envision our future together. So I think that basically the reading really does complete itself this week. And I love this progression today, the 5, the 10, and the 20. That's interesting, where it brings us to the place of awareness and true awakening. So I guess that's it. I mean, I'm better on my time here than I was. I was only about 25 minutes in when the thing crapped out on me. But anyway, we'll go ahead and close here before that happens, but let you go about your day. Again, we're going to meet again on Sunday for Esoteric Influences. If you want that in your inbox on Sundays or Saturday night, whenever I send it out, it's going to have Esoteric Influences. It'll have some other things in it as well. A rune divination, the monthly bind rune. I had some stuff on chickens and what I feed my chickens in the wintertime in the last edition. I don't know what I'll put in the next one, but we'll see. Sometimes there's more, sometimes there's less, but you can get it in your inbox if you want it on Sundays. Just sign up. It's over on the blog on the side panel, just toward the top. Scroll down and you'll see sign up for the newsletter. Put your email in. It goes to my software, and I create my newsletter and hit send to everybody on it. So anyway, there'll also be something in it about the Herbal Academy is offering a really cool formulation class. If you're interested, if you are an herbalist or you're interested in herbs and learning how to put them together safely and effectively. I know that from my training, but this is I'm an affiliate for this company, and I'll talk more about it next week. Registration opens on the 23rd. And so you can go to my blog at Stepping Aside and click on the ad for it on the 23rd or a few days after, whenever you want to sign up, because registration goes on for a while. And you can click on that and it'll take you to the site. And if you do that and you sign up, then because you click through my site, I'll get a commission on the sale of that course. And so that's how that works when you are an affiliate for other companies. If you click on someone's link on their blog, or a linked word or something, or an ad or something on the blog, that person then, if you buy anything, that blogger gets a little small commission on that sale. And so that's how affiliate marketing works in a nutshell. But anyway, we do it to monetize our blogs, just to sort of offset blog costs, because it does cost money to run a blog. There's also a tip teacup over there on the side panel. It's one of those PayPal donation things, and if you want to donate to support the upkeep of the blog, you can sure do that. That would be lovely. I would greatly appreciate that. Patreon is another place I am. You can see some stuff there that's set to public, but other stuff set to patron. You have to become a patron, and I only have that set at $1 a month or $12 a year. So if you want to just do it monthly, you can just, look at stuff for a given month. If you don't feel like doing it for a few months, that's fine. But if you want to see the stuff I write over there, that's just set to Patreon, you have to do that over there. So if you do, thank you. I appreciate that as well. Again, it all just goes to offset my blog and all of that, and the costs associated with that. Let's see what else. I did a tarot reading yesterday using the Heindel Tarot, which was, did I use the Heindel Tarot? No, I didn't. I used the Wildwood Tarot. I used that. It was pretty cool. You should look at that. That's over there on the blog. Links to all that, the blog and all the social media places I'm at are underneath here, the video. And I guess that's it. Otherwise, I'll see you back here on Monday for Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune. Have a good weekend. And again, if you have to go out anywhere, try not to, but if you have to, because we've got a whole lot of different variants right now, and not everybody's been vaccinated, and so that's still happening. Although that's really increased, we're still not done. And I haven't had mine. My husband hasn't had his. So we're doubling up on the masks, like the CDC is recommending, and we're also wearing face shields. We also wear latex gloves. We wash everything down, wipe everything down before we bring it into the house. We spray things. We have our spray bottle of alcohol solution, and so nothing comes in that's not been either wiped down or sprayed down, and then left for a bit. Even the mail, I do the same with that. I let it sit out for a bit before I bring it in. And because, see, our postal carriers, our UPS people, they don't wear masks. And so if they're ill and they're shedding virus all over everything, I mean, come on, people, wear a mask. The things, again, let go of perceptions that no longer serve. So we can all heal. I'm like, my God. Anyway. But again, wear a mask if you're around anyone at all, inside or out, because outside is just as important as inside. I know, again, people think you don't have to, but yes, you do. And, be good to yourself. Be good to one another. And blessed be.